Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Rustl'd for the 22nd of March, 2018. Today is Thursday, which means today is my Friday, and I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's not that I necessarily have anything major planned, with the exception that Monday is my birthday, so I'm thinking about throwing on a birthday stream on the main YouTube channel. on Sunday afternoon sometime, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. I may do it then, I may postpone it, I'm not entirely too sure. At this point, with the newborn, I am just exhausted. After I was done last night, I had to wrap it up quick. She kept me up until about 4:30 in the morning and then got me up early. So I am wrecked and a half, and that is one of the worst places to be when you have to host a show later in the evening. And it's just, yeah. So there's all that. But I turned 36 on Monday. And I've been reflecting about what it means to be 36. And truthfully, I got nothing. It's not a significant birthday, right? Like, my last significant birthday, I think, was like turning 25. And I was like, hey, I can rent a car, right? Or, well, 30. 30 was a big one, you know, because you kind of move into that second phase of your life at the age of 30. And I went on a cruise to Mexico for 4 days, which was pretty cool. But 36, there's not much there. There's not much there necessarily to get all excited about. It's like, oh, hey, it's a 3-6. Ooh, right? Like, it goes, you know, like 25, 30, 40, 50, and then obviously 69 for apparent reasons. So anyway, we have a lot to get through tonight. I have to try to be done by about 11 o'clock, so we've got an hour and a half to go. And there are a number of stories to get through tonight because I need to do an extra one to make up for something this week. So we're going to try to make this work. I do hope we're able to make this work. And if not, then screw it. It's going to be a lot of fun. However, before we get going, if you guys want to, be sure to support the channel via Streamlabs, which is streamlabs.com/mundaneMac. You could do command donate, gives you all the links for that information, as well as bits, which I'm still trying to understand. I feel like, again, like an old man going into a young man's game. Like, what are these bits you're referring to here? What do they do? What do they do? And the answer is I got no fucking idea what any of those things do. But I appreciate them nonetheless because I'm not a person who looks a gift horse in the mouth, for the most part. But all right, let's jump into this here. So we're gonna go through the fucking stories. Okay, Magog, what's up, buddy? Let me actually make you a mod real quick, because you know, if someone walks in and the first thing they say is ass rape, it's make that person a mod. That's what you do. Go on the kumite. No, I'm sorry. I'm good. I have too much to do in the daytime. I don't want to get up that early to go be dogpiled on by people who are really nice when you're talking one-on-one, but are total cunts when you're talking in public. So there's that. Anyway, I'm done with that shit. What's going on, Synthesizer Sam? No, Collins. What are we doing, Collins? That's the whole point. I want to get through the stories. I was actually just going to get to that. Then Magog came in, yelled ass rape, and I'm like, that completely threw me the fuck off. So thanks, Magog. You're fucking up my flow, buddy. You're fucking up my flow. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the 5 as fast as I possibly can. And then we're going to jump into the Discord and do the Discord shit. So the call-in part of this is going to be hopefully by about 10:30 to 11 o'clock, about a half hour. So here's what I ask. Go to the Discord, command sign Discord in the chat, or just discord.me/mundanemat, or you can find it in the Twitch page as well. Go in there, jump into the general chat, have your question or your topic of conversation good to go, and then I'll be pulling people in at random to discuss, and we'll go through it pretty quick. It's been a fun thing all week. I do enjoy talking with everybody, but I want to make sure we can get to as many as humanly possible, as well as me getting my content done for the weekend. Because like I said, it's my birthday weekend, and apparently I have to go to that March for Our Lives protest thing, and I'm going to document it because I, quite frankly, don't have much of a desire to be there. But I'm going to go ahead and check it out. So anyway, there is definitely into that. Okay, so tell Matt I love him. I get ignored. Someone yells ass rape, they get modded. Makes sense. Reformed. Well, it's like yelling fire in a crowded theater. I think yelling out ass rape would make any person who's been in any kind of remotely compromising situation with their butt clench up. I, however, haven't. I just know Magog, and when he's all comes in, he goes, ass rape. And that's a horrible Magog. Obviously, I'm going to sit there and pay attention because that's what my friend says. Because Magog is my friend. He is. So go subscribe to Magog of Morskar. Get that motherfucker up as many subs as you possibly fucking can. Because that dude puts in a lot of goddamn work. Way more fucking work than me. And he deserves a lot more fucking attention. Is it really your birthday? Yes. March 26th, 1982 is my birthday. I'm turning 36 years old. Why the fuck would I lie about it being my birthday? Streamlabs.com/mundane Matt. I'm kidding. All right, let's do this. Fuck. These things don't last very long, I swear to God. $45 for 3 of them, right? And I get like, I don't even know if it's working anymore. One of them came busted. I'm kind of pissed off. All right, social security number, please. That would be, hold on here. I think 531 500. Oh, no, sorry. 5318008. There we go. Yeah. Put that in a calculator and turn it upside down. No, Claude Sandshark. My birthday is on Monday. Monday. Today is Thursday. I said my birthday is March 26th. Today is the 23rd for you, but no, anyway. That's that. Okay, let's Jesus Christ. That threw me the fuck off. All right. Let's get into some weird fucking tech news, right? I like tech stuff. This shit is weird. I've been sitting on the story all goddamn week, and I haven't talked about it yet, but we're going to talk about it tonight because it's going to be a large, an interesting story. I think a lot of people always ask the question, what happens when you die? And it's something that many people out there are always kind of fearful of. I think everyone has that moment of finality of your life, that the fact that, like, oh, one day I will die. And it's always a scary feeling. For me, it happened in the 4th grade when I hit New Year's. Surprisingly, New Year's is when I started questioning my own mortality. It's not my birthday, as many people like to sit there and go, oh, the older I get, the 1 year closer to death. I'm like, nah, fuck that, dude. My birthday is for fun. New Year's is when I start panicking about when I'm ultimately going to die. So there's that. But that being said, if you could plug yourself into the internet, if you could effectively go into the Matrix, would you do it? And that's kind of what's going on here, where the Silicon Valley billionaire, who's 32 years old, and oh my God, I turned 36 in a couple days, and this dude is 32 and a billionaire. Share the wealth, buddy. Pays $10,000 to be killed so the contents of his brain can be digitally uploaded and preserved forever. Now, what I'm thinking here is this guy was watching the San Junipero episode of Black Mirror and was like, I'm totally down for some lesbian sex. And I think everyone can basically kind of get on board with that. But this guy here, he's a Silicon Valley tech billionaire, is paying 10 grand to be killed so his brain can be preserved forever. His entrepreneur, Sam Altman, is one of the 25 people on a waiting list at Nectome, a startup company that says they can upload the content of a person's brain and store it on a computer. Yeah, I think look, people are going to want that, your digital consciousness being able to surf the internet forever and live forever. Is that going to be something that people are going to want to do? And I think when like the fear of death sets in, right? When the fear that your body is going to go away, that, you don't know what's going to happen next. You want some semblance of control, and you don't want to turn it over to religion, because religion doesn't give you that control over your afterlife, apparently. This isn't like what dreams may come sort of thing. It's like, you never really know. You're going to heaven, you go to hell, or you're stuck in purgatory. It's kind of one of the things. But people would want to be able to do that. And I'm not going to lie. I'm actually very much in that same mindset. I think if someone came to me and they were like, Matthew, we're offering you the opportunity to live forever. Would you want to do it? And I'm all like, dude, I got a freaking awesome YouTube career, man. I am going to live forever. Future generations of my kin will be able to go back and watch the videos where I criticize films. That's going to totally be a thing. But I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. No, anyway. But here comes the caveat. Here comes the catch. But in exchange for eternally preserving his mind, the 32-year-old will have to die in a process similar to physician-assisted suicide, which is only legal in 5 U.S. states. Oregon is definitely one of them, because that was a big thing back in the 90s. Somewhat ironically, the company Altman founded, Y Contributor, funds startups like Nectome. The process he signed up for involves embalming the brain so it can be later simulated onto a computer. The customer, alive, is hooked up to a machine and then injected with Nectome's embalming chemicals. The company said the method is 100% fatal. I mean, you'd want it to be, right? You really want it to be 100% fatal. It just... what? $10,000 to die. This dude's a freaking billionaire, right? Uh, it's like Total Recall. But Jesus Christ. The user experience will be identical to physician-assisted suicide. The co-founder, Robert McIntyre, told the review. On the company's website, it says that the mission is to preserve your brain well enough to keep its memories intact. From that great chapter of your favorite book to the feeling of a cold winter air to baking an apple pie or having dinner with your friends and family. Let's be realistic here. Don't try to church it up with none of these like namsy-pamsy memories, right? You want to be like, remember the first time you got high? Remember the first time you got a blowjob or you got eaten out if you happen to be a woman? Remember the first time you had sex and the first time you orgasmed that was pure bliss? That's what we want to recreate, because that's literally what would happen in the afterworld. It's going to be like Westworld, the TV show, with literally no end date. It's going to be like, God, oh, I feel so good today. What do I want to go out there and do? Oh, Playboy Playmate Victoria Silvstedt, what are you doing here? Oh, you're in my bed. Oh, you're not wearing any underwear. Oh, porn star Lexi Bell and Mia Malkova, you're here again. You didn't come for the sugar, did you? But you're definitely going to come before you leave. That's what it would be like. And at the same time, while you're doing all three women simultaneously, because you'll be able to basically digitally expand your penis to be 3 like a trident of cocks, then you'll be able to, like, you know, have ninjas attack your home. And when ninjas are attacking your home, you'll simultaneously turn your arms into, like, guns and then kill them all, because it's a digital world and anything is possible. It's like Ready Player One, the porn version. Yeah. Anyway, so, we believe that in the current century, it will be feasible to digitize this information and use it to recreate your consciousness. The business pitch similarly said, what if we told you we could back up your mind? Yeah, you could back up their mind at the expense of taking their life. So you got to kind of add that caveat in there. Embalming fluid can keep a body frozen and intact without the threat of it starting to decompose for hundreds or potentially thousands of years. But in order for the procedure to work, the brain has to be fresh. Nectome said it plans to connect people with terminal illness who sign up to heart and lung machines and pump the embalming mixture into their carotid arteries while in their necks while they are alive, but under general anesthesia. The practice does qualify as physician-assisted suicide, which is only currently available in 5 out of 50 states. And even in those states, an individual must have a terminal illness and have been told they will only live for 6 months or less. The company has consulted lawyers familiar with the law and said that if people have a terminal illness, they believe the service will be legal to them. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they, I mean, if you're told you've only got 6 months to live and you're given this ultimatum essentially right now, this ultimatum of like, your body is failing you. You are going to die. There's no way around that. There's no question around that. What if we came to you with this opportunity? Let us test this on you, and you have the ability to kind of be like the first kid in Jurassic Park to you'll be able to be the first one out there, a pioneer. And the likelihood of them losing a lot of these brains are going to probably be pretty high. But if you're already going to die, your clock is already ticking down, people might actually jump on board, because it's some form of choice. It's some form of continuation. They actually are then given control over how they choose to die versus what is being, their body doing all that. Anyway, the idea of uploading human consciousness into computers and storing it on the cloud is gaining popularity among scientists in Silicon Valley. Yeah, obviously. You can't take your money with you when you die. So why not invest in something that can keep you alive afterward? Dr. Ian Pearson, a futurologist, says he believes in 50 years' time, humans will be able to put our brains onto the cloud. He said a person would then be able to use any android you feel like to inhabit the real world. Oh, so we're getting into that whole thing. We're getting into like replicants and stuff, or cyborgs, which kind of is funny, because I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. Like, yo, you want to go interact with the real world? No, man, put me in the cloud. You could upload like all 2,800 seasons of Law and Order SVU, and that would keep me going for a while. Give me all the new video games as they come out, and I'm happy. Let me see all the Star Wars movies as they come out. I'd be happy. Right? And then also, why would I want, okay, here's it. If I'm in the digital world, which effectively will be able, like, if they create a virtual world to go along with it, similar to, let's say, the Oasis from Ready Player One, why would you ever go back into the real world? Right? Like, look at San Junipero. I mentioned that before. San Junipero, why would you ever go back into the real world? You would just stay in the cloud, stay in that particular simulation. And if you have access to other simulations, Why would you ever go back out? Right? I find that to be kind of dumb. Like people are like, oh, I'm gonna take off and go see my great grandchildren or something. They're not gonna want to see you. They're not gonna care. At this point, when you get to that age, man, fuck those people. You are there for you. Science is also written about a lot of futurist literature, particularly in Ray Kurzweil's books. Nectome has a large federal grant and is collaborating with MIT neuroscientists. Its embalming technique also won an 80 grand prize for preserving a pig's brain so well that every synapse inside could still be seen with an electron microscope. So clearly these guys have done a fair amount of work to make sure that this is going to go very well. And here's the deal. I don't know where this technology is going to take us. I don't know if I'll ever be able to have my magical three-way with Mia Malkova and Lexi Bell in a digital space. It's not cheating if you're already dead. But the idea there is interesting, and it's one that's going to captivate a lot of people, especially as the idea of mortality creeps up on them. And when they get to that age where their body starts to fail them, you know, when they get up there and they realize that everything they've done is not going to be forever in terms of their own existence, this is where the next phase is going to be. And if we can all of a sudden find a way to upload consciousness to the cloud and have it stay there, imagine what we could learn. Imagine what we could gain if all of a sudden, like, our world's top scientists and top philosophers and top researchers and top whatever did that before they died. And then in the digital space, they would be able to continue learning, continue growing, continue expanding, and continue teaching. Humanity would never have moments of time lost, or have information lost in time again. It would be like a digital library of Alexandria that could never be burned to the ground. That is, unless somebody came by and just pulled the plug. So hold on, who's doing misleading shit? I caught that in the chat. What? Oh, people still doing Alex Jones says this kind of stuff is a scam. So I'm just saying it's a weird thing. I'm not against it though. All right. This one I want to talk about because this is one that I think is going to impact a lot of people who like YouTube. So let's jump into this one here. Command sign snaps, guys. Get me those snaps. All right. Yeah, sugar's kicking in. Let me just move over here. There we go. Make sure I'm back in the center of my screen. I keep getting moved over this way or this way. Okay. All right, snaps, traps. Professional face. One of the things that you do when you're a YouTuber is you do responses, or you need to pull content from YouTube videos as a way to, use it in your own. It's not always what feels to be the most legal process, but it's always kind of been a thing. And one of those abilities, one of those websites that's been able to facilitate that has always been KeepVid. In fact, it was one of the first. It's one of the most popular. You go, hey, how do you download YouTube videos? And you'll have like 8 people raise their hand and go, oh man, KeepVid is great. KeepVid is awesome. Now KeepVid is no more. And that is sad, actually. That's actually pretty sad to me because it shows you just what can happen to these services that get perceived to be basically, well, copyright infringement distributors of sorts, or enablers, so to speak. Now it says here, KeepVid site no longer allows users to keep video. The popular download service KeepVid no longer allows users to download videos. Instead, the site has transformed into an educational page, warning people about copyright issues and urging visitors to use legal options if available. So yeah, they got taken out by the MPAA and other kind of copyright monsters. Even though when it comes to downloading YouTube videos for, like, let's say the sake of responding to them, it's not technically a violation. It's not illegal, not copyright infringement. But what they're more or less referring to, and this is, I would say, probably more not the MPAA, but the RIAA, is that there's so much music on YouTube that people just tend to download the tracks themselves, and then that's that. And to say I've never done that would be an absolute lie. Of course, I've downloaded musical tracks from YouTube before. I try to go for open source stuff to use in videos, but the service is there and it's open to every video, so on and so forth. Now, for many years, KeepVid has been the prime destination for people who wanted to download videos from YouTube, Dailymotion, Facebook, Vimeo, and dozens of other sites. However, let's be fair, a lot of times KeepVid didn't work with a lot of other sites other than YouTube. The web application was free and worked without any hassle. There was still the case earlier this month when the site advertised itself as follows. The KeepVid video downloader is a free web application that allows you to download videos from sites like YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, Vimeo, Dailymotion, and many more. However, a few days ago, the site radically changed its course. While the motivation is unknown at the time, KeepVid took its popular video download service offline without prior notice, which basically means that they were hit hard. We've seen this sort of thing happen before with a couple of these websites. Like they just get targeted heavily, and it usually has to do around them making money. There's one site right now called pego.co, which I was using for many years, and I liked it quite a bit, but they recently changed it to where now they have a subscription service you can get to get access to downloading it. If not, there's a whole bunch of ads, and it's kind of intrusive, and I've just stopped going to that site. Simply because I don't like what they've become. I understand everyone wants to make websites and everyone wants to make money. I'm not against that. And even the idea of having a site like KeepVid or pego.co, having ads on the sites is not going to bother me. They're offering a service. You can download the stuff from YouTube. People download my videos and re-upload them all the goddamn time. All the time. So these services are available in a multitude of fashions. So what exactly did KeepVid do to piss somebody off? Well, it's entirely possible that it's not YouTube, that it is maybe Facebook or Twitch.tv or Dailymotion or Vimeo. Probably not Dailymotion, because who goes on there anymore? Now, this is what the old KeepVid looked like here. And it says, today people can no longer use KeepVid to download videos. On the contrary, the site warns that using video to download and conversion tools might get people in trouble. It won't. It won't, because they're not going to... It won't if you... It won't. It won't. There's no way. That is unless they log your IP and they give it to somebody else. But what it is KeepVid is an intermediary. So you put that link into KeepVid, and then it goes and from its server, and it pulls it and downloads it. So ultimately, no. No. And it's not illegal. This is the thing too. It's not illegal. I have to remind people this. It's not illegal to download. The downloading, maybe it is illegal to download. I don't want to say something online there. But from my understanding of when it comes to downloading contents, like torrent-wise at least, the downloading is not the illegal part. It's the sharing. That's where they get you. Here, you're not sharing. You're taking, but they could be the one sharing, and that could be the reason. So it says, video downloading from the internet will become more and more difficult, and KeepVid encourages people to download videos via the correct and legal ways. What are they talking about? This is unless something big is coming down the pipeline that we don't know about yet. Right. And now when I talk about movies for $3 theater, if I need to get screenshots from something, I'll download the trailer. I'll download the 1080p version of the trailer so I can get decent screenshots. Too bad usually the encoding is so poor. Even in 1080p, it's meant for mobile devices, and yeah, anyway, it gets really annoying. But like that's not illegal. I'm using it for part of my video. It's part of it's under fair use, and a lot of the uses of these things are fair use. Now it says, well, the site already made some changes over the years, such as restricting YouTube downloads to only shared videos, turning the download service into cautioning educational pages rather unexpected. It says here that people care about KeepVid opinion, trends about video download. Now this is interesting. It says here, the KeepVid opinion. That's odd to me. That's really odd. People care about the trends of video downloading and what it will become in the future. KeepVid learned the statistics from the internet. Video downloading from the internet will become more and more difficult, and KeepVid encourages people to download videos via the correct and legal ways. They must have gotten threatened with something. They must have gotten threatened with something crazy. That must have been what happened here. It's the only thing I can think of. These guys have been around for years. Like they're as far as downloading YouTube videos go, like they're up there. Like if you type in how to download YouTube videos, it's up there. The site now lists several alternative options to enjoy videos and music, including Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, and Pandora. So all paid services. So who got them? who came to their door and like threatened the hell out of them? The KeepVid team isn't commenting on the overhaul. When we asked the site about the reason for the turnaround, it confirmed the downloading feature won't return, but that's about it. Saying KeepVid won't provide video audio downloading feature from now on, a KeepVid representative informed Torrent Freak, adding that they will focus on developing other audio and video tools going forward. Which, okay. Now, here's what that says to me. I think maybe they're not offering the download services anymore. The downloading feature, but they're working on other things. So maybe they're working on ways to download that not on KeepVid, but in other ways. I don't know. Our follow-up question asking whether the move was motivated by legal pressure remains unanswered. As a tiny glimmer of hope, the site mentions downloading videos could become possible again if video download tools and sharing platforms reach an agreement in the future. For now, however, it's clear that as a download service, the site is done. Okay. So if download tools and video sharing platforms reach an agreement, so that's probably where the pressure is coming from. It's one of those sites. Probably not YouTube, because again, YouTube doesn't really care, right? YouTube doesn't care about copyright or anything like that unless someone else complains. But at the same time, Google Images changed up their entire thing where you can do a search for images, but you have to then go to the website to go find the image and not be able to just pull it from the website directly using Google Image Search, because Getty Images complained about copyright violation. And I understand that. I get that. It makes my thumbnail creation now a lot more of a pain in the ass. But ultimately, I get it. And that could be something that's similar here. One of those sites, Twitch, Vimeo, Dailymotion, maybe even YouTube, got mad at KeepVid, and they threatened them, and this is where it came from, because it's a reaching the agreement thing. Now, it does say here that, interestingly, the KeepVid Pro software is still available. The same is true for the video conversion software and several other tools KeepVid offers elsewhere. The KeepVid Pro buy link is no longer working, though, and the team informs us that this application will also come to its destination. Okay, so that could be one of the reasons right there. That could, in fact, be one of the reasons. So ultimately, it's like this. When you've got these kind of softwares, this kind of software, and it allows you to download, it could be that they just got by someone. If they're selling software in order to download, that could be what got them in trouble. And then as a result of that, offering it for free wasn't as much of a problem because they're getting it for free, so that whatever. But that's a little bit weird. Now, personally, I like to use 4K Downloader. And I have paid for the premium server, or the premium key on that one. It's like $10, but it allows me to download YouTube playlists and also download in really high resolution. So yeah, they kind of got me on that one, but I use it pretty frequently for everything I do over on 3 Buck Theater, or if I need to do a response to somebody and I need to have that content available and I can't do it through YouTube. So there are ways to still get around this, but KeepVid going down is kind of scary, because when it comes to this kind of thing, it is a very heavily relied upon tool for people like myself and other content creators online. And the fact that it's going away only signals that this is going to be an ongoing trend. And so, yes, if KeepVid's down now and then Pego.co goes down too, or 4K Downloader goes down, then things are going to be very, very interesting going forward. And I don't know what that's going to spell for the rest of us. Ah, man, I was getting a little bit like whatever. Okay, I get like news updates like every hour. And it's like I hit with the news update. This is the one I found yesterday that we didn't talk about. This one's kind of cray. Kind of crazy, baby. All right. Okay, cool. We got 65 people in here. Ali, I agree. 4K Downloader. Once you don't need anything else. So I'm definitely down with that one. All right. Egg Stream Wrestling. Anal feels good, my man. Try it someday. Not necessarily what I'm into, but you, by all means, if taking it in your poop chute is what gets you off, enjoy. Okay. This ought to be a fun one. Snaps or traps, guys. Snaps or traps. I don't even know how to start this goddamn thing. I'm not too sure. How do you start? How do you start something like this? All right. Okay. Professional. Who doesn't love sex? I mean that, like, really, honestly. I think everyone out there loves sex. Not everyone out there gets sex as often as they would like, or at all in some particular cases. However, everyone out there loves the idea of rubbing your genitals against somebody else's genitals and or mouth and or anus if you're into that sort of thing. But as our society tends to kind of like push us further and further away from the genders, as well as the fact that there are a lot of declining birth rates, people out there still want to get their freak on, but they're not able to do it in the old-fashioned way. So they turn to tools and apparatuses. Now, when it comes to women, well, women have had a slew of toys over the years, right? They've got everything under the sun in order to enhance their sexual experience. Men, on the other hand, not as much as you might think. And what we do have access to is not always what I could view as the best, or possibly the most sanitary, and or possibly like, you know, like it's kind of creepy in some respects. But this particular thing here, a sex doll brothel, yeah, that's pretty interesting to me. That's pretty. I'm not too sure how I feel about that one, right? I just the general concept of it alone is what I'm. It's weird. I'm also very curiously fascinated by it, but that's neither here nor there. But activists want to shut it down because they say that it promotes rape. I just would like to kind of pose the question of how, if you have a place for you to go and expel your frustrations for not being able to get a proper date with a proper lady, how is that going to sit there and promote rape, right? I think I kind of can understand what they're going to come from here, but let's find out. All right. Paris counselors are considering calls to close France's first sex doll brothel Tuesday, following objections from feminist and left-wing groups. Of course, they're feminists that are upset at this, right? Feminists who try to claim that, you know, everything a man does is wrong, everything a man does is sexist, and then the man is like, well, you know what? Fine, screw you. I'm going to go, and I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to MGTOW myself over to a sex brothel or sex robot brothel, and I'm going to pay someone to have sex with one of their many fine robots in this fine robot brothel establishment. And then the feminists are like, oh, really? Oh, really? Well, we'll see about that. Right? So they're going to sit there and they're trying to get it shut down. What the hell? Now, situated in an apartment. Oh, maybe that's why. In the French capital's 14th arrondissement, X Dolls opened last month, offering clients a choice of 4 different Chinese-made silicone inflatable sex toys. Are these the girls right here? They're all inflatable? That looks pretty good for inflatable. I'm not in terms of like, you know, sex doll technology, and I'm not too familiar with it, but I'm just saying. And it's in an apartment. That's actually like, and it's Chinese made. So you're like, is it? There's a lot wrong here with this, but either way, I have to applaud the madam or the pimp of this establishment for their entrepreneurship and their ingenuity. When you can open up a dating a robot sex brothel, when you can open up a sex robot brothel and you import from China, it's just so funny to me. Oh my God. Okay, so here's the thing. The business is legally registered as a game center, but critics object to it on the grounds that it's essentially a brothel, a business that's illegal under French law. Like, okay, like that part I actually get. It's going to be really hard to sit there and try to sell me on the idea that, you know, it's a game center, right? Like, what game is it there? You don't really need, it's not pickup artistry. You don't need a game to score one of these chicks because they're not real. So I don't understand what the whole process is. Now it says here, it's as if you go there to play pinball or table football. Nicolas Bonnet Olajiji, the communist leader on the Paris Council, told Le Parisien he has objected to or tabled the motion for the business to be closed, despite police who visited the premises determining that no law was being broken and it posed no threat to public order. Look, when the cops are rolling in saying this brothel is okay, you've effectively done something correct on that in that particular front. So that's something to consider. The 5-0 is rolling on. They're going like, no, 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 I find nothing wrong. Sir, what is that? Why are your pants undone? Oh, no, 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 my pants are fine. No, it is a new fashion to have your zippers undone. But sir, did you engage with one of these inflatable young women? No, 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 no. It was not engagement. It was all from behind. She was a very fine lover. So he said this communist leader says X dolls conveys a degrading image of the women. They're sex dolls, man. Their primary focus in life is to be a cum dumpster. That is like legitimately their primary focus in life. That is what they were developed for. If this was like the movie Mannequin, but with the sex robot, her entire prerogative would still be, fill me with semen. That is what I was programmed for. Num, 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 num. That would be it. That would be it. Also, just to kind of put this out there, I feel it needs to be said, I'm sorry. They're not real. No matter how much you want them to be, no matter how much you wish upon a star, they're not real. Therefore, they have no agency. Therefore, they're not women. It's a receptacle for your penis and the juice of which it expels. Feminist group Movement Denude, the Nest movement, agrees, arguing that the business promotes rape culture. Again, how does that even remotely, even possibly come close to promoting rape culture? They're not real. They're not real. No one is being held down and being doing things beyond their desire, their consent. No one is being violated. It's silicone. It's even said it's inflatable. They're not real. Just imagine that particular town hall meeting. You know, she goes out there, sacre bleu. These sex dolls, they promote the rape culture. We need to make sure that they go away. And but how? Why? What would be the possible? What I don't understand that. No, you misunderstand. The rape culture, the men go there, they have sex with the women. No, but they're not women. They have sex with the dolls. Okay, the dolls, they're not real. No, but you don't understand. No, I don't think you understand. What rape? They can't consent. They're not real. You know? I mean, this isn't like Pinocchio or something where Geppetto wishes upon a star and he becomes a real boy, and then it's he has agency. So Geppetto can't fuck him anymore. That doesn't make any sense. X Dolls is not a sex shop. It's a place that generates money where you rape a woman. Oh my God. Said spokeswoman Lorraine Cuesta. I'm definitely butchering that name. I don't care. Can we in France approve a business that is based on the promotion of rape? Again, who is being raped? If rape, it's these aren't there's no human trafficking here. There's no human trafficking because they're not human. They're not human, i.e., there's no brain, no heart, no lungs, no actual working uterus, fallopian tube, womb system. Their vagina was created in a lab and probably modeled more accurately than many of these feminists' vaginas, I would assume. That's probably why they're so upset, because their husbands are all going there. And yeah, they're not real. I think that that I could just go through this entire story, just continuously repeat the fact they're not real. And then they're breaking my brain with this. You understand that, right? They are breaking my brain with this. Similar businesses have popped up in other European cities in recent years across Spain, Germany, England, and Netherlands, and Austria. X-Dolls owner Joaquin Lusque has told French media that despite the opposition in Paris, he hopes to open similar businesses elsewhere. Sure, by all means. I mean, look, no one is being injured here. No one is being hurt here, right? Because these aren't people. Again, that whole notion, not a real person. right? 4 words kind of summarizes everything you need to say back to these people that are at like, it promotes their labor culture. Because, you know, here's a breakdown of that one, right? Obviously, this is what they're thinking. Because I do like to try to look at it from their perspective. It's dumb, but here's what they're thinking. Man goes to X dolls. He picks out, let's say, the large-breasted Lana Kane looking one in the center. He takes her back to his to the room in the apartment, because it's an apartment. He has his way with her, right? She's just laying there lifeless, not moving, so on and so forth. He goes, oh, that wasn't exciting. I didn't get my thrill from that. So then he goes and stalks the night for a woman who could put up a fight. Never mind the fact that the vast majority of guys who are going to be going to this kind of brothel are people who aren't traditionally known for talking and going out with women. And France is a very sex-positive country. It's always been. You know, it's always been the ménage à trois, the conolingas, right? I don't know. Ménage à trois was a big word in the 90s. Now we just call it a 3-way. But ménage à trois, that sounds sexier, right? Like, but it's always been open sexually. This is the evils, the evils. I'm saying it, the evils of feminism. It's flat out. It's like, oh no, fucking a toy promotes rape culture. Well, in your worldview, what doesn't? No, I mean, that is a legitimate question I'd like to know. What doesn't promote rape culture? Because if a man spending money to spend, who knows, 5 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever, with an inanimate object that is not a real person and has no real agency is considered rape culture, then you have a very poor understanding of what rape culture is, or the idea of rape is, and therefore kind of negates the entire whole myth surrounding rape culture. It's a term that gets used here in the West constantly. Everywhere you go, rape culture. But like where your statistics don't back it up. And if a person ends up boning a sex doll, who are they raping? And if it is rape, and I mean this, then it's really up to the dolls to go to 911, to go to the police. Oh my God. Soy lattes promote rape culture. Jesus Christ. Oh, that was dumb, man. They fuck that up constantly. Hey, we got 85 people in here. Awesome. 85 people. Oh, jeez. The French aren't people. Oh my God. Like, holy crap on a... Just crap on a crap, man. All right, let's let's go in here to the next one. This one's interesting. All right. The one in the middle is so Lana from Archer. Yeah, that's why I said it. It's probably the one I'd choose too, if I was in that position. I don't think I would, though. I don't know if I would. I mean, I'd be a little bit weird. Be like, go there, be like, oh, hey, do you want to have sex with the large black one? Well, she's stacked. Can we just call her? I mean, sure. Can you just, like, put on Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone and give me 5 minutes? Anyway. Just, Snaps and traps and shit. You know, a couple of years ago, my neighbor came to me in a huff. He was worried. He was afraid. He held his laptop in his hand and he said, Obama wants me to pay him in order to unlock my computer. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And it turns out he had been looking on some naughty websites on his wife's laptop and got ransomware. And then I had to go through the process of getting that off of his computer. And it was annoying and it was funny at the same time. But that's my idiotic neighbor in his idiotic porn situation. Not the entire city of Atlanta, which its city government systems were down due to a ransomware attack. It's not funny in any stretch of by any stretch of the imagination. But this is way freaking worse than my neighbor going like, they want $200. Anyway, the FBI called in as some city services are interrupted and employees are told to turn off their PCs. Now, it says here that the City of Atlanta government has apparently become the victim of a ransomware attack. The city's official Twitter account announced that the city's government is currently experiencing outages on various consumer-facing applications, including some that consumers may use to pay bills or access court-related information. Now, there's one thing you never want to mess with, it's the courts. So if you can't get access to that information, you're kind of in a bad place. Now, according to a report from Atlanta NBC affiliate WXIA, the city employee sent a station a screenshot of a ransomware message demanding a payment of $6,800 to unlock each computer or $51,000 to provide all the keys for the affected systems. Employees received emails from the city's information technology department instructing them to unplug their computers if they noticed anything suspicious. An internal email shared with WXIA said that the internal system affected included the city's payroll application. Now, this is what they got on their computer. Now, if you remember, just as a quick side thing, going back 3.5 years ago when the Sony hack happened, they were also hit with something very similar. So whoever got in, they got in and they planted this stuff on like all the computers. Now, it says here that these no, that's what they sent off. Sorry, I'm gonna edit that. Okay. In a statement to ours, a city spokesperson said, "At this time, our Atlanta information management team is working diligently with support from Microsoft to resolve the issue. We are confident that our team of technology professionals will be able to restore applications soon. The city's primary website remains online, and the city government will continue to post updates there," the spokesperson added. Well, here's our first problem. They're going to Microsoft support in order to resolve the issue. No one who's ever gone to Microsoft support has ever truly resolved the issue, because probably every one of their computers is running Windows 10. An FBI spokesperson told the press that the Bureau was coordinating with the city of Atlanta to determine what happened. Someone got in, probably very similar ways to how they got into Podesta's emails, or the DNC emails, right? They send a phishing email, and people are dumb. They're so dumb, right? It's like, oh, you got locked out. You got to go in and re-sign in. I'm like, yeah, every time I get one of those emails or one of those notifications, I always end up going, I don't click on their link. I end up going to, typing it in myself just to be on the double sure side. But people don't always think that way. They go, oh, they're trying to be helpful. Click, 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 password, and then they're in. And then they start putting all the stuff on the system, and they start trying to find ways to extort it. I mean, $6,800 a computer is quite a bit, or $51,000. But they're holding it for like a relatively small number. Am I the only one that thinks that? If you've almost got like the city of Atlanta, their computer system in a bit of turmoil, you've got it caught through ransomware, and you've kind of got them by the balls, and all you're asking for is $51,000. That seems like a small number. However, to be fair, asking for that kind of number might be so small the city might just pay it to make it all go away and then not deal with the massive fallout from trying to go public over this stuff, because the 51,000 compared to like the bad press is like a small freaking number. And that would be like, that's what they're thinking. Oh, we hit it with a small number, we're good. But if not, then we're not. So anyway, based on the screenshot, one security expert WXIA showed it said that it resembled a message from a variant of SamSam, a family of ransomware that struck a number of hospitals 2 years ago. Those malware attacks exploited a Java deserialization vulnerability in Java-based application servers, but it's not clear that the Atlanta outbreak started the same way. Now, I just have to point out that the Atlanta outbreak line there is a very clever little bit of pun. It's punny to me, because what is based in Atlanta? The CDC. Now, had this been a story about the CDC and said then that would have been perfect. But I don't know if they knew what they did there, but I kind of like that. So yeah, these kind of ransomware attacks happen. Now, here's an update at 5 p.m. In a live stream press conference, Atlanta City COO said that the city payroll will not be affected. Microsoft, Cisco, FBI, and DHS officials are involved in the investigation. And so that's looking like everything's coming together and whatnot. So what you've got a city that is being held by a ransomware. So the information is light right now. But it does go to show you that you should always be very vigilant about what you click online. You should always be very, very, very careful about how you do these things, because this is how they get in. This is how they get in, and this is how they try to hold you ransom for money. Although I will say these guys are smart in asking for 51,000 and not like, you know, $2-3 million, which would then be a lot easier to trace. The city of Atlanta is big enough to where 58,000 or 51,000 would just basically be like pocket change, and no one would really care. But I'm also kind of curious whether or not the guys are asking for the money in cryptocurrency, because I feel like that would be something that would be almost untraceable if that's what if they could get what they want out of that. And we've seen a couple ransomware attacks recently where people wanted cryptocurrency to unlock it. So that's kind of going to be where things are next. And considering how untraceable all that is, it's ever more the reason why you need to just not click randomly on stuff. Thankfully, as these situations should go down as younger generations get older, because it's the older generations that click on everything thinking that the internet is safe at all times, when the younger generation is generally far more suspicious. So there's that one. Okay. So let's do the last one here and we'll get into there. I'm trying to get through this one quicker and everything else. Okay. Let's see. We got, all right. So yeah, keep in mind the Discord is open right now. If you want to go, command sign Discord. Let me just pop that in there. So you can do, to go into the Discord, you can go in also through, I believe, the, there's a, hold on here. I don't know if this will work. It might work. Hold on. I'm going to try to find the link I got for a desktop version of, or for a Windows version of that. Or I should say a Chrome. Sorry. A Chrome. Okay. Hold on here. Sorry, I need to do this last thing and then I take a quick look. All right. All right. There it is. Okay. I don't know if this is going to work. It might work. One of you guys are probably going to want to test it, but you might be able to, where the hell is that at? Okay. This could work as a way to get, you might have to create an account, but you might be able to log into the Mundane Matt one if you want to go through, let's say, your browser. That was sent to me. I can't guarantee things are going to work. So there's that. Okay. All right, let's do this last one here so we can get on with it. And let me bring that up. Okay. Final snaps for traps for the week, guys. Come on, command side snaps. Do it. All right. My daughter just turned 3.5 months old, and I can't imagine life without her at this point. She is just wonderful, amazing. Which is why this story is scary to me. Where a baby Ingrid, a newborn, kidnapped by tribal police, will soon be back with her parents. So, fuck, let me start over again. Oh, man, sinuses are acting up, too. So my daughter is 3.5 months old, and at this point, I couldn't imagine life without her. She is amazing, she's wonderful, and even though she's teething and keeping me up till all hours of the damn night, I love her to death. And I can only imagine the fear these parents went through when tribal police came into the hospital and took their infant newborn daughter, baby Ingrid. But at least now we know that they will be returned to her very soon. Now, it says here, a tribal court has agreed to return a newborn seized at the South Florida hospital where she was born by Miccosukee police detectives to her outraged parents, reports say. The child was born 4 days ago to a Miccosukee mother and a white father. I'm probably mispronouncing that, and I apologize, but I'm really terrible with these names. The decision was made after an hours-long hearing at the tribal court on the reservation in the Everglades, the Miami Herald reported. The small Indian tribe, which numbers about 600 members, is considered a sovereign nation, and it has its own court system and police department, as most tribal lands are. You know, I used to live in San Diego. There are 3 casinos down there, Indian casinos, on 3 different reservations. So yeah, trust me, they don't mess around. 2 days after the girl was born, tribal detectives entered Baptist Hospital in Kendall, which is outside the tribe's reservation, and took Ingrid Ronan Johnson from her parents, Rebecca Sanders and Justin Johnson, sparking outrage from South Florida to Washington, D.C. Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, it's like, I didn't even hear about this story until just now. And, I mean, this is a couple days ago. This should have been national news. It should have been everywhere. Everyone should have been talking about this because it's like just that kind of messed up. The Miami Herald reported that the tribal police were accompanied by Miami-Dade officers and carried a court order. Miami-Dade now says the officers were misled. Yes. I mean, I'd like to know in what world you can sit there and have, it doesn't matter if it was, like the baby is half Indian, half white man. All right. But they're still like the father still has paternal rights, which I feel like in this case was entirely ignored. Oh, right. No, that kind of happens all the time when it comes to dads, doesn't it? Yeah. They don't really have any rights these days, do they? Yeah. All right. Now you wonder why people are MRAs. This is one of the reasons why. I'd argue, no, really, legitimately, I would argue this is one of the reasons why the men's rights activists are needed, because that child belonging to that father would have the same rights afforded to that father as a citizen of this country. And have it taken away like that because officers are misled by tribal police, it's just ridiculous. It is. It's just ridiculous. The parents filed complaints with police and prosecutors and the U.S. Bureau of Indian Affairs, saying tribal order was concocted by the baby's grandmother, Betty Osaloa, to keep Johnson out of the girl's life. The tribal order grants custody to the grandmother. Who in what world could do that? In what? I mean, like, okay, fine. They're a sovereign land. Okay, fine. Sovereign land. They have the ability to do what they want there. I get it. Within reason, I guess. Within, whatever. But because they pass an order or a judge declares something on tribal land does not mean that it transfers over to the rest of the country. Not one damn bit. And that's just ridiculous beyond belief. The father, who's 36, so we're basically the same age, says, "I'm still trying to wrap my head around how this happened. I can't even begin to explain how hard this has been. I don't see how people of the Miccosukee tribe can look me in the face and tell me this is okay." Sanders, 28, says she too feels like she has no rights. "I thought the tribe was to protect its people and not use its own rulings to control its people." But I would argue that even though they're a sovereign land and they have the ability to do what they want, they're still considered American citizens, so they would still have the same rights that the rest of us have. I mean, that's as far as I'm aware of the situation. If that is not the case, are these like the sovereign citizens you hear about every once in a while? Fort Lauderdale attorney Bradford Cohen, who represents Sanders, said the baby is missing critical bonding time with her mother, which is absolutely true. I mean, absolutely true. We don't know the health of the baby. We don't know if she is receiving proper care. Authorities are reviewing what happened at the hospital, which said in a statement that its officials followed a court order. Miami-Dade police said its officers were asked to provide backup while tribal officers executed a federal court order, but the order came from the tribe, not the federal government. Oh my God. Man. Read the fucking paperwork. Jesus Christ. When I worked at the casino, I was security. Okay. I was security. I would work in the soft count room where they would count all the money from the table games. All right. And like anyone wanted to come in, my job was to make sure I checked all of their ID and I made sure all of it was legit. And I was like the third checkpoint. I was like the final checkpoint to get into where we were at. So, I'm like that last line of defense. And if I didn't ask those questions, I would be out of a job. And the fact that 2 Miami-Dade officers were approached by tribal police and were just like, we have this federal court order. And they're like, yeah, okay. Is just, there's a lawsuit here on not only against the tribe, but against the police. I mean, especially the police. I would be all up in that. I would news reports, everything. I would be coming down on them like with the anger of 1,000 fucking pissed off gods. Anyway, sorry. Papa bear chicken in sort of thing. The tribe's police chief hasn't returned a phone call from the Associated Press. At least Marco Rubio is tweeting about it. That's good. Florida Senator Marco Rubio said in a tweet Wednesday night that the tribe used its court to kidnap the baby, which is absolutely true. "They don't have any jurisdiction outside reservation," Rubio tweeted. "I'm in contact with Fed officials, and this won't end well for the tribe if they don't return the child ASAP." Well, little Marco, go get him. You want to earn the support of your people and get reelected for another term? Go get them. You want to have a chance at running for president and you want to protect this kind of crap from happening? Go get them. Not saying I'd vote for you, but I'm saying this would elevate you a bit, in my opinion. That's that. Anyway, baby Ingrid's parents have had conflicts and said they are no longer a couple, but remain amicable and plan to co-parent the girl. The Herald reports that Sanders was arrested 3 years ago for misdemeanor battery on Johnson, and she told the newspaper her mother pressured her into getting a restraining order barring Johnson from the reservation. Okay, so they've got problems, which is, you know, no one's perfect, but they're not beating the kid or whatever. Sanders said her mother became agitated when she saw Johnson at the hospital, and that Osalola had hospital security remove him, the grandmother. Johnson said he wouldn't leave until he saw his baby. I remember kissing her forehead and telling her, "Daddy will see you soon." Johnson says, "I haven't seen my daughter since." And I would go ape shit if that was me. I would use whatever pull, whatever power, whatever sway I had as being an internet commentator. I would be making nonstop videos, live streams about this. I would be contacting every person I know. I would just be raging up a storm over this nonsense, because not only are they, you know, the people in a couple, that's fine. That's fine. These things happen all the time. But to have the grandmother come in and take the baby away using a tribal order, and then the tribal police played it off as a federal order. I feel like that's impersonating a federal officer, which is a felony. So I would argue that there's some people out there that might actually be looking at some serious jail time if this thing doesn't get resolved. And hell, even if it does get resolved, right? No, what makes you think you have power outside of the reservation? What makes you think you have power over an American citizen? Because that's what baby Ingrid is. She's an American citizen. You don't have that kind of authority. You're never granted that kind of authority, and don't you dare assume that you have it. I understand that American relations with Indian tribes hasn't been the best. All right, I've worked at a casino on a tribe. I get it, but no, you don't have that right. You don't have that power. And the two officers that provided backup, I want them punished too. I want every one of these assholes punished. You know, I just like demotion. You're on freaking traffic stop duty, right? We're gonna put you at the weirdest shift. You're gonna be the guy guarding the porta potty outside of a construction site, because you can't sit there and mess with people's rights like this. You can't do it. So I'm glad that they're gonna get their kid back. But the kid's 4 days old, man. The first 4 days with my child, it's like you're hugging them, you're holding them, you're feeding them. I mean, she's 3.5 months right now, but it's like that wasn't that long ago that she was only a couple days old. So that's still pretty fresh in my damn mind, which is why I'm pretty pissed off at this. So at least Rubio's talking about it, working with the feds, trying to make it go through. He's doing his job as a senator. He's protecting his people, and I can respect that. But everyone here who played a part in this, whether intentionally, unintentionally, or unwittingly, I should say, you're all fucking morons who should be goddamn fucking ashamed.